He always says he's putting Americans first, that he loves farmers, but this doesn't look American at all to America's farmers. And, he's off over in Asia, but what about opening up the government here at home?
Welcome to Stateside Spotlight, where I do my best to show you all sides to the political equation. Let's shake the bacon and talk about farmers. Today we take a look at the farmers who are suffering heavily under Trump's tariffs and the potential $20 to $40 billion bailout for Argentina. Especially soybean farmers have been hit hard, with the export market essentially being shut down by China. In the first clip, we'll hear from John Boyd Jr., the founder of the National Black Farmers Association, on how all farmers feel betrayed and why.
John Boyd Jr., you are a soybean farmer. Does that sound like that's what good will be for you?
Absolutely not. This president sold America's farmers out. And, farmers call every day and they said that they feel like they've been betrayed by this president, $40 billion to Argentina. And then they start to sell soybeans to China. And then the president comes and invites them here to the United States and then cuts another deal undermining beef cattle farmers here at home. So he always says he's putting Americans first, that he loves farmers, but this doesn't look American at all to America's farmers. And, he's off over in Asia, but what about opening up the government here at home and working with Democratic leaders and Republican leaders in the House and Senate and getting this government open? The president has to show some leadership here, that he can cut a deal here at home before he runs abroad, and when he was running for office, he said that, someone who entertains a shutdown looks weak. That's what he said. A president that allows that on his watch is looking weak. So the president isn't looking strong, heading out to cut a deal with someone when our own government here at home is closed, it's not open for business, and America's farmers are facing the highest bankruptcy rates in a very, very long time. Farm suicides are up, farm foreclosures are up, and we're still sitting there talking about a framework. Farmers need to hear something, a whole lot more stronger language than that, and here at home.
So, John, tell me about your farm. How are you doing? You're a soybean farmer. Where is your crop gone?
Well, right now, I'm not harvesting. I had to cut my machines off. The grain elevators are full, which means they're not accepting any more new soybeans in on trucks. I don't have a grain storage capability, so I have to cut my combines off, people. That's how real this is. I've been farming for 42 years, and I never had calls from grain elevators saying that they were not taking soybeans today because the soybeans aren't moving here at home. So this is real. You're going to see a lot of farms on the auction blocks in the coming months. Right now, annual payments are due for America's farmers in October and November. And they also have to meet with their bankers to discuss next year's crop. And we don't have a market here at home.
Clearly, the farmers feel betrayed and helpless since they trusted the government to be taking care of them. They need the government on their side in order to succeed in the markets and other challenges. In the following clip, a soybean farmer explains how the tariffs against China impacts them and what needs to change to prevent the worst from happening.
Well, we depend on the Chinese market, and the reason we depend so much on this market is China consumes 61% of soybeans produced worldwide. The rest of the world is 39%. Of the soybeans that American farmers produce, 25% currently have been going to China. And right now, we have zero sold for this crop that's starting to be harvested right now. So it's a five-alarm fire for our industry that 25% of our total sales is currently missing. And right now, we are not price competitive with Brazil due to the retaliatory tariffs that are in place. Our prices are about 20% higher, and that means that the Chinese are going elsewhere because they can find a better value. And The American soybean farmers and their families are suffering. There's 500,000 of us that produce soybeans, and we desperately need markets, and we need opportunity, and we need a level playing field so we can compete, because we grow a great product, but we have to be price competitive as well. And there's an artificial barrier that is built with these tariffs that makes us not be competitive.
In this clip, the farmer John Bartman of Bartman Family Farm in Illinois talks about the potential bailout for the farmers and why that won't work in the long run.
President Trump is said to be considering a bailout of at least $10 billion for farmers. That may be too little too late.
We don't want a bailout. We want a market. Bailouts are Band-Aids. We aren't even made whole off of this. That's money that should be going towards senior citizens. That's money that should be going for the Affordable Care Act. That's money that should just be going to regular tax cuts for normal Americans and not billionaires. What he is doing is destroying our markets. And when those markets disappear, we're not going to get them back.
Here are some farmers from Arkansas voicing their worries.
Now, I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
We made the decision to go out this year in the spring. So my son will not be the seventh generation on our farm.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
For the last clip, let's listen to this farmer explaining about the day-to-day struggles due to the trade wars with China and the meaning of the Argentina bailout.
China bought more than half of the U.S.-grown soybeans in 2023 and 2024. Tell us what this has been like. Their boycott, how has it affected your day-to-day business?
Well, Steph, one thing I really appreciate your show is that you understand markets. And right now we're sitting on 1 billion bushels that don't have a home. That's about 25% of our market right now. And what I'm really concerned about is 2026. And if we don't get these bushels sold, we're really looking at economic disaster in 2026.
You are not a cattle rancher, but the president proposed, in this same vein, now buying beef from Argentina to bring beef prices down here. What do you think of that?
Well, it's his Argentina first agenda. That's what he's trying to do, unfortunately. I mean, we're giving $40 billion to Argentina, and the minute that they lifted their export tax, China came in and bought roughly $800 million worth of beans from them. That's $800 million that should be going back to rural America so that farmers can pay off their operating loans. And more importantly, put some American factory workers back to work right now. Deere is laying off people, Case IH is laying off people, and we really...
Do you think it is their own fault, since most of them voted for Trump, or do you think it was going to happen either way? Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe if you like what I do. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.